We are on, boys.
Hey, what's going on? Episode 6. I feel like this camera's kind of getting blocked from this mic, though.
No,
Episode 6 of the 4 Fanatics. I'm Derek.
I'm MJ. Joey, that's when you're supposed to say I'm Joey.
I'm Joey.
I'm Zack.
Special guest, Zack Navarrete.
ECC champion last year, 170 pounds.
I got 160.
170
I was a little
pounds.
lighter.
He weighed in 160. He really weighed 170. I didn't get that wrong. I believe it. By the time ECCs was over, he was about 170 pounds.
Yeah, he's probably right.
About a month you ate.
Well, we're going to get into some football talk, starting off with Patriots. The Patriots, are they dethroned? Are they done? Is the dynasty done?
I said a few weeks ago when they were facing the Bills, I said I was coming in a cowboy hat. They beat the Bills, barely. That's the only week the offense actually worked. Now, what did I say last week? I feel like the Stephen A. Smith of the podcast. But I literally said all last week, Derrick Henry is unstoppable. He's literally a maniac. The whole Titans team hopped on his back, and he ran and ran.
Yeah, they weren't winning that game without him.
Yeah, no way. They don't have enough of a pass game.
Yeah.
Their pass game is not good enough.
I mean, and Tannehill has the ability to have a good enough pass game, but he did not. We controlled the pass game, but there was nothing we could do.
They
about
locked
Derrick
down.
Henry.
Yeah.
Gilly locked down
It
their
looked like he was an
wide
out
receivers.
It was very old school.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what I find interesting with the Titans also, what you say about the quarterbacks, they run both Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill. It's
Only
kinda,
one play, though. Dude, it's so crazy.
It's like goal line, they put in Marcus Mariota for, like, the running aspect, I guess. Is what I imagine it would be, is for more running aspect. But, like, I don't know why. But, I mean, I get... All I know is that... Are the Titans going to beat the Ravens?
No.
Yeah, I feel like there's almost
Although,
no
you know
way.
what? I did not.
You
know what, dude? I did not think there was a shot. Even with Derrick Henry, and maybe that's a biased opinion.
That's
being
definitely biased if you didn't think there was a chance.
I thought there was a chance, but not like... I didn't think that there was going to be such dominance displayed.
Maybe you didn't expect fucking
Derrick Henry
202 yards or 204
Henry,
from Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry could go to have an absolute monster game. You never know.
Derrick Henry's literally taller than any of us.
How tall do you think he is?
I think he's 6'2".
He's 6'2". Why are you acting like that's a freak?
Because I'm like 5'11",
I'm 6'2". I'm literally 6'2".
Yeah, so he's like all muscle compared to you.
Brady is taller than Derrick Henry.
Well, he's a quarterback.
Yeah, but Derek on the podcast last week, he was like the monster, the 7'3".
I said 8'2".
Excuse me.
He's 6'3" and runs a 4.5.
He's a
freak.
He's a maniac.
He's a freak. He was running like he was back at Alabama.
But yeah, I think. I mean, the very possible thing is that Patriots defense is so good, but I think it's a lot more better of a pass coverage team than a run stopping team.
Definitely.
Really.
Yeah.
And all the Titans really do is just pound the ball. And the Titans were losing the physical battle too early in the game. They're like the Patriots were playing more physical than the Titans. That were surprising because they're like one of the most physical teams in the NFL.
I mean, Patriots at different points of the year, they were ranked number one. They were viewed as number one defense. I don't think they finished the season as the number one defense in the league, but they were definitely. I mean, can everyone at least agree on the top three, top five?
I mean, they literally were the best, or they left the least amount of points in this decade for defense.
And Derrick Henry running through them like that, I think that shows that he's probably the best running back in the league. I mean, that title changed so much this year.
What running backs did we face?
I mean, what do you mean?
What running backs did we? Yeah.
I mean,
compared to Derrick Henry. I mean, he's definitely top 3 in the league. He was the rushing leader.
Did we face him? No, we didn't. He was hurt.
Who?
Saquon. Wait, who said that?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Saquon's still top. I don't even care. He had such a bad season. He picked up near the end because he was hurt a lot of the season, but he's still top 5.
Well, like how you said they needed to shut him down, I really don't think that he was too worried about having a crazy season when it's a definite. I don't think any player is really set on having a crazy season and facing the possibility of getting injured when their team isn't going to get past a few wins.
You see Odell was doing it with the Giants before we went on the boat.
He was probably just trying to get out of there. Like he was probably just trying to get picked up by a better team.
My Odell jersey, I don't know if it was the greatest option to get. But
let's get back to what I was saying. The Patriots. Now everybody's saying, is this the end of the dynasty? And we'll all give our opinions on that. But the biggest thing is that a lot of people are saying the reason that the dynasty might be over is because Brady is either retiring or
he's out of there.
I cannot imagine Tom Brady. Personally, I cannot imagine Tom Brady in another jersey. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, some of the greatest football and basketball players ever did it. Jordan, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana. They've all ended their careers with teams.
Bring up Peyton Manning. I like it.
Well, that's different.
Like
that's
Peyton Manning was on the Broncos for a good amount of time.
Because
the ones who won the Super Bowl.
that's completely different because he broke records with them. He won a Super Bowl with them. Like Shaq with the Celtics was literally just like an old uncle saying, "Give me the ball."
Shaq was on like a lot more teams than people would actually know.
Huh?
He
just started bouncing.
You never seen that? Have you seen that
teams.
rainbow picture
Of
where he
him,
literally has been on so many teams that he can make a perfect rainbow?
No,
You should look it up. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's funny.
But,
I don't know. It's weird looking at that Tom Brady post they put up about thanking everyone, talking about the Gillette fans and all that.
When we sent that, Gavin, who's usually here, was like, he's not leaving. This proves he's not leaving. And I, as a Patriots fan, I can get with that, but at the same time, that could be viewed as an I'm coming back, or that could be viewed as like, see you the hell later. Like I'm never playing for this team.
Well, I think it's like he's definitely going to play, but if the Patriots aren't really on his side, then he will just play somewhere else. That's how I'm like viewing it.
Well, there was that whole thing about how he's not going to give the hometown discount, and the Patriots don't pay people a lot, and I think they know that Brady is 43 years old. Father time is not unlimited. I've said it 100 times on this podcast. As much as I love him, there's nothing he can do within the next couple of years, whether it's now or later. He'll be gone. He'll be gone pretty soon, and they're not going to drop a huge contract on him for it. It's not when it's a season that's not as promised to be as dominant as others, and he's given the hometown discount so many times. So he does deserve a big contract. I mean, you have Matthew Stafford and Derek Carr getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars, and Brady's still getting...
Matthew Stafford's elite, though, so...
Is he? Is Matt?
He is.
Okay.
He literally was a sleeper MVP before he got injured this season. He was having a really good, he was having a really good beginning of the season, and he broke his back, and he had that Tony Romo injury, so we'll see if he was able to really come back that well. But no, well, yeah, but Matthew Stafford's getting paid. Derek Carr's getting paid millions. What's that BS?
What did you just say?
Derek Carr getting paid millions.
Oh, Derek Carr sucks.
But also, like, bringing it
well,
back
it's not that he sucks, but he's just average.
Yeah. Bringing it back to the Patriots with Belichick, like, even if Tom Brady goes, Belichick's such a good coach. He's gonna work with it. Like I'm not a Patriots fan, but like as far as Belichick goes, dude, he's definitely like the best coach I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I mean we had talked about that a couple weeks ago. Who's the best coach of all time? And if Belichick stays, which Belichick's not leaving, at least not right now. If he can work with anything, I mean. We've never got to see in our lifetime. We've never got to see him work with anything other than Brady, other than the times Brady was out or hurt. But you know what I mean, like actual whole like season trying to build forward. We've never seen that, and I think no matter who it is, I mean, I've seen rumors. Joey, you told me about Andy Dalton possibly being a Patriot.
I was like semi joking about it at first, but now it's like actually a possibility.
Oh,
I don't think
Andy Dalton in a Patriots uniform.
He's not that. I mean, you know what?
He's literally a decent quarterback. That's a game manager, but he's also played for one of the worst teams like ever in NFL history.
Yeah,
the Bengals.
No, you're right.
The trash can of the Bengals.
You know what? If they went
Bengals without AJ Green.
The Bengals without AJ Green.
But they had Tyler Boyd.
Patriots need to, in my opinion, focus on two things this season, and they need to focus on at least getting one more wide receiver for whoever is under center. Whoever it is, they need at least one good, because it was just so inconsistent this year. We
need a mobile QB. That's what we need.
That's the league.
We're getting
if we wanted a mobile QB, we would have drafted Lamar. We had two chances to draft him, and we skipped.
Well, that's the thing. Would we have won the Super Bowl if Lamar was on the bench and we didn't have Sony when he was good?
What do you mean? Wait, reword that?
We drafted Sony Michel instead of Lamar, right?
Yeah.
We might
And
have
win.
not
Yeah, and
made it
Isaiah
to the
win.
Super
Yeah, and
Bowl
Isaiah.
if we didn't have Sony Michel.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done a lot for the team in the short amount of time that he's been there, and he's a pretty
Except
good
this
running back.
season.
And
This season was
but I think he had a few good games. I think he's still growing. I mean, I would like to see him stay a Patriot for a little while.
Well, it's not like I've just given up on him in
Yeah.
the sophomore season, but Rex Burkhead was looking a little better than him, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, you're right.
Besides his fumbles.
And then we need to focus on a better offensive line because those are probably the two biggest problems for Brady and the team altogether. Is that
So yeah, basically the entire offense.
he had nobody to throw to, and he had no time to throw to those people who were still not catching his passes. Or it was destined for failure. Obviously, I had the thought that we were going to make it, but
the Titans shut that down.
Wasn't our team
8-2.
second in drops?
Hmm?
Wasn't our team second in drops?
Probably number
I
one
didn't
to
hear
the Giants.
that. Were they? Did you see that?
I think they were.
Giants are probably
Wouldn't
number
surprise
one,
me.
So it's,
Yeah. Oh, Edelman's
Actually, no, the
drop.
Eagles. Never mind, the
Yeah.
Eagles.
That
are
was
number
hard,
one.
Dude, that was huge. That wasn't exactly as obviously it wasn't
And it was
exactly as big
it
as
was a
Wes
terrible
Welker's
drop.
play in the Super Bowl.
But it was like he was just
But-
standing there and
Dude,
just didn't catch
it was
it.
literally like that. Like that was like a textbook Edelman catch, and you just see it drop. And my dad lost. He's like, Edelman, you mother! He lost it at the TV, and it's ridiculous that it's crazy how one drop can change a game, and it's. Nobody played to their full potential in that game, really. I mean,
Besides Rex Burkhead in the first half.
the only
Seriously,
person,
the first half, like, our offense looked really good.
yeah.
Like, I was saying that. I was like, our offense is playing better than it usually does. And then the second half, we scored 0 points.
Here's the thing. I had full confidence that we were going to develop some type of plan to get past the Titans. So I'm almost a little bit relieved that we lost in a way. And I know it sounds stupid, but I'm almost a little bit relieved because if I thought that they could build a plan this year to get past the Titans, if we snuck by them, say Derrick Henry, they didn't give Derrick Henry the ball as many times as they
800 rushing
did.
yards.
And we won. I don't know what that game would have looked like against Kansas City. That could have been a train
A
wreck.
murder.
We could have somehow snuck out of it, but no matter what, as a Patriots fan, am saying there's no way we would have gotten past Baltimore. Not this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way, in my opinion, that we were getting to the Super Bowl. So it's just like,
didn't have a.
it was just a little bit of an earlier exit.
Yeah. No, I guess
A
you're
higher
right.
draft pick.
Hurts a little bit less.
Yeah.
But there's
Still
a lot
just
of.
hurts, having when we lose that the opposing QB threw for 72 yards. And 22 of those yards were the running back. So if Derrick Henry
Yeah.
wasn't in the game, he would have threw 50 yards that game.
That screen
That's-
pass is
Yeah, that is
disgusting.
really-
That's
crazy.
tragic.
Want to know what the biggest hole for the Patriots is? Their special teams coach and wide receivers coach is gone to the
Oh,
New York Football
God.
Giants.
How do you feel about that? I haven't asked you that yet.
Oh yeah, we really haven't talked about it. At first I was mad, but then when you look at more and more, he was also special teams coach at the time. I mean, other than the receivers coach, the receivers were literally like the worst in the league for the Patriots. The special teams coach actually talks with all three aspects of the team, because usually what happens with a football team is the special teams coach talks with them first, and then it's the head coach, and they go on with their game plan. And so he's literally talked with the whole team all the time. So he knows how to speak with all the team. We'll have to see. They're taking a chance. He was a coach under Nick Saban. Did I say it? Saban? Yeah, I had to make sure. And then Bill. So he's been around. It's a big jump from being a special teams coach and not being like a coordinator and hopping up. So we'll see. They're taking a chance on him, but I feel like it
is a chance for sure.
If he can't coach the wide receivers, can he coach a team?
Yeah, like,
That's the question.
I mean, he made that special team that you've seen he's been there for quite a bit of time, and you've seen for years his special teams be a top special teams for the Patriots.
Yeah, but
even though Bill runs it partially, or probably runs most of it,
Matthew
he still runs
Slater
sort of
puts
it.
the team on his back.
He does. He does. Matthew Slater is the greatest special teamer. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. That's not true.
He's
But
definitely up
he's
there.
up
He has.
there.
He's like
He's up there. He's not the greatest
seven-time
ever,
Pro
but-
Bowler for special teams.
Yeah,
It's
he's
ridiculous.
definitely up there. But I mean, it's hard because like I guess you could put like you have Devin Hester, Deion Sanders, you have like all the returners.
Honestly,
so,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
He's like a good special teams player, not I don't know if he's ever returned a ball.
I don't think he has. I would love to see that though. I would love to see.
I mean, he just got his first touchdown
Yeah.
ever this season.
Yeah. But anyways, like you were saying about the Giants getting a new coach, one thing I kind of want to talk about is the Washington Redskins situation. They just got Ron Rivera
And Jack Del Rio as defense coordinator. That's one of the best defensive coordinators. He built up that Raiders defense to be a real scary defense.
And it got torn down.
I forget what there's other team that I'm completely blanking on it. I don't want to say Bears, but I'm completely wrong. But he's built multiple defenses, made them top defenses. And I never thought Jack Del Rio was a bad coach. And so him being the defensive coordinator, I feel like is really kind of good for the. So this NFC East is getting a bunch of good coaches with Mike McCarthy at Cowboys.
I would say don't be surprised if the Redskins are leading the division next year because now they got Ron Rivera.
That's kind of a big jump there.
No. The problem you run into is that offense is literally a dumpster fire.
Well,
That defense plays so hard, and that works with Ron Rivera, and that's why that team's the saving.
Well, they have the second overall pick, so they can do whatever they.
But they're gonna get Chase Young, another defensive player.
Yeah, But I mean, you never. Dwayne Haskins could. I think Dwayne Haskins is gonna step up. I mean, it was his rookie year.
Who was he throwing to?
But you literally have Scary Terry back there, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's and Terry Mc. I just knew it was coming. That biscuit thing I had this morning. That's what's getting to me now.
Yikes.
It's Terry McLaurin. I can't say it right. I'm so bad with names. Scary Terry. That's what his name. He was like a top 10 rookie this year. I'll pull him up for you. I'll literally pull up his stats.
You're good.
But he's like,
what position did he play?
Wide receiver. He was like a third round draft pick. So that's really the only thing they have on offense. Because Jordan Reed's is done really. Vernon Davis is like 85 years old.
Where is Jordan Reed?
He's been injured for 6 years now.
Well, here's the thing: if he's back, they got Jordan Reed, and if they go out and grab a wide receiver, then I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you guys say that that's a big thing.
It's the worst division in the league.
I was just gonna say anything could happen. I mean.
Yeah.
They could have 5 wins and be 4 wins above second place. That division is god awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll see it probably step up. He had almost 1,000 yards. He was drafted in the 3rd round. He had almost 1,000 yards for the dumpster fire of the Redskins, so it can't be too bad.
I mean,
58 receptions for 919.
Yeah, exactly.
He averaged 15.8 yards a catch.
This guy's ridiculous.
That's like the definition of a deep threat right there.
Yeah, he literally is a deep threat. But so I just don't think they're gonna go Chase. How can you unless they trade back?
Yeah,
you can't pass up on Chase. I mean, the Giants will gladly take them. I will gladly take Chase Young, but they're not. They can't unless they trade back. Because that could happen honestly. If a team wants Chase Young that bad. They could get some real good draft capital for that second overall pick.
If they do get Chase Young though, that defense is that
defense is so he's gonna take. I really think he's gonna take Ryan Kerrigan's spot, and Ryan Kerrigan's gonna start playing a more role player because he's just getting old now. He's in I think mid-30s now. Mm-hmm. He's definitely in his 30s. I think it's more towards mid-30s. And so now he's starting to get to that point where he's starting to get real slow. He wasn't the fastest guy, but now he's starting to get real slow. Not as slow as Terrell Suggs because, oh, man.
I mean, the whole NFC East is just changing. I mean, other than the Eagles, they're just all changing their coaches. Literally.
And the Eagles just Doug Pearson's also a top coach, but they just fired or they just got rid of they just got rid of the offensive coordinator or whatever. So they're changing a bunch of their stuff.
Putting the camera on you so people can see you struggle.
I'm struggling so hard right now mentally. But there's a whole entire
Listen, I've been going through a lot lately.
I go through so much on a daily, Joey. It's getting real sad.
You're just
here.
soft. That's it.
Zach comes in with this. No, but I really think this NFC East is going to turn around a lot this next year. Because, I mean, the Giants are I will put a good bet on it. The Giants will be the worst team in the NFC East.
Think so?
Yeah. We're not making the playoffs.
Joe Judge is not your answer. I mean,
you never know, but you really can't turn this team around that we have right now. You can't turn this team from this to a playoff team in 1 year. This is a multi-year thing.
Yeah.
So I think they're setting up Joe Judge. They didn't get this fire of a QB to turn the season around because they can't. This team isn't a one-team build-around year. This is a team that you have to build up, and it kind of sucks that we got Saquon at a weird time because now he's wasting his best years that he should have when he's younger.
Running backs only have.
That's why getting a high pick with a running back so weird because you have these good running backs, but a lot of times they'll go to the tail end of the first round or later in the second round because running backs have such a short time span in the NFL because that's why like Frank Gore we were talking about was so amazing because most running backs they get to 30 and like they're just torn apart.
Up their knees, everything.
Their knees, their shoulder, everything's just torn apart because they get hit so much. That's why it's gonna be interesting to watch Christian McCaffrey the most because how many touches he gets. Like this year he was like leading in touches by so much for running backs because he was just they feeding the ball during the season. The whole entire season they were just feeding Christian McCaffrey. So we'll see if he's able to continue it. But this team ain't going to be a one-year rebuild team. Like I said, I'll put a solid bet on it. If anyone wants to go in, I'm ready for some free money. I'm a betting man, as we like to know. And the Giants will be the worst team in the NFC East this next year.
Well, like, how do you think something like that will affect mobile QBs? Like Lamar. Like, he runs the ball a lot.
I mean, we saw it with Cam Newton. Cam Newton looks like he's basically been torn through, but we'll see what. It's very possible now that Rule. Why am I not thinking his first name? Who's the Baylor? Baylor Bears head coach.
Which sport? Basketball?
Did he just say Bearlow Bears? What did you say?
Baylor, I think.
Baylor.
Matt Rule. There we go.
Oh.
Matt Rule is. I couldn't think of his first name. I just said Rule. But Matt Rule is. I'm having a hard time.
You can do it.
You can
do it.
Where was I even going?
Okay. Anyway,
I'm turning my mic.
Coach.
No, where? Yeah. What? Oh,
The
Panther.
Are you having a good time?
Panthers. Panthers. It took me. This is rough. But the Panthers, and so where was I going with this?
Yeah.
We were talking about running backs, right?
No, you were talking about. Are you okay?
No, I didn't say anything.
You
Mobile
did. You were
quarterbacks
literally in
running
the
the
middle
ball.
of talking about Cam Newton.
Quarterbacks
Oh,
running the
And
ball.
then you went to the
okay.
Baylor coach.
No,
And then,
he's the head,
Because he's going to be coaching the
because
Panthers.
he's now the head coach of the Panthers.
Okay.
My bad. Now I got it.
there you
Connect
go.
the dots.
I really had the CT's kicking in already. I'm 18. I can't do this. But so you're gonna see because Cam Newton originally everyone was saying since halfway through the season he's not staying with the Panthers anymore. But now with this whole entire new supporting cast of Matt Rule and all that, he may stay around in Carolina. And he may get this. Didn't even put your.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm really that boring. You could have just told me. But you're gonna.
My bad.
I think it's very possible because I found this interesting. Everyone was saying he's gone out Carolina, but I think he may stay around for a 1-year prove it deal. And I feel like when Cam Newton has that kind of prove it factor, he goes a lot better.
Yeah,
But he's still like I said, I
mean, has he really had to face that yet, though?
He faced it first when he had that MVP season,
And he didn't really.
and then after that he fell apart.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he can have a great year like that ever again because like we were just saying with these running quarterbacks. Lamar is a lot more careful. Cam Newton tried to run guys over.
Yeah.
Lamar does that
Cam
sometimes.
Newton's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like a powerhouse when he's so fast
But
too.
you can't be taking hits like that in the NFL.
Especially not as a quarterback.
And then
like,
Lamar takes some every once in a while when he feels like having fun, but like he slides a lot.
You know, the only
times.
thing that doesn't scare me about Lamar, and this is one thing that we've I think Gavin said like half of it. Every year there's someone that dominates the league, and every sports show, every podcast, every radio show, how are they going to stop this guy? This guy's going to be the NFL, the face of the NFL. I mean, think about it. We were like, how the hell is somebody going to, how the hell is that team ever going to stop Cam Newton? Stopped him. And then we said, how the hell is a team ever going to stop Patty Mahomes? Not that he had a bad season, but he didn't. I mean, he was hurt.
Well, he got hurt.
Yeah,
he was hurt, and I mean, I'm gonna kind of break off that point. You had Colin Kaepernick that happened first, and then teams started knowing how to defend the read option, so that shut it down. I don't really. Cam Newton just runs people over. I don't really know what happened to Cam Newton. He just didn't do as well as he could. That team actually probably fell apart around him. That team wasn't a great team. That Panthers team was not a great.
They had a pretty good defense.
That's
when Josh Norman was
they had
great
a
too.
pretty good
for like
defense.
1 year.
Yeah.
But that
And then went to the Redskins.
I don't
and
know
it
how
was
that
just-
offense did well. That
Yeah.
offense had a bunch of guys that weren't that good.
Yeah,
They're
had,
average football
They
players.
had Smith, right? They had Steve Smith,
Steve Smith. They had
Ted Ginn.
Ted-
Yeah.
they had Ted Ginn.
Jericho Cotry.
Oh my God, I remember him in Madden 16.
Joey knows about my Jericho Cotry. I've read like 25 seasons.
Oh, man.
But and then so you had Patty Mahomes. He didn't have a bad season. It's just I feel like that Chiefs team's also gone further than
I mean, what's their record right now?
in the playoffs, unlike the Patriots. That's all I know.
Hmm?
Aren't they in the playoffs?
Who?
Yeah, the Chiefs are in the playoffs. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm saying they're further than the
They
Patriots
have a
are
first
right
round
now.
bye.
Yeah, they're facing the Texans this week.
Still
So-
better.
Yeah.
They had like the same amount. They had the same amount of wins or whatever as Patriots. But I
And
think
that
the-
was when Patty was hurt for a little bit.
yeah, and
so-
that's with how Patrick Mahomes works. But I think the problem that you run into with Lamar, and you're saying about like how every single year you have this quarterback or this player that you just like can't stop. The problem I think with Lamar he literally runs faster than everyone else in the NFL. His speed, he literally outruns corners.
No, yeah, he's a freak.
This is
As of right now, he's a
the
freak.
hard part you have with like Cam Newton is he was big and fast, but he wasn't outrunning cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Lamar's literally the fastest player on the team. All right,
him and Hollywood.
him
Who's
and
faster?
Yeah.
you have Big Trust in Mark Ingram and Hollywood Brown, and Lamar actually learned how
Hollywood
to
Brown's
throw.
been great this year too.
He's been pretty good. I remember me and Joe were talking about with Madden. That's what it was when
Oh,
they brought the rookie
Don't play
premieres.
that anymore.
And I was like, and Joe was talking about getting Hollywood Brown. I'm like, Joey, don't get him because going into like the draft, he had an injured like ankle. He was like really badly. He kept on getting injured. And I was like, don't get. He turned it around. He had a really big first week out of nowhere. First or second week, I forget. He had like 100 and something receiving yards out of nowhere. It was wild. But I think, like I said, the problem you're gonna run to Lamar is he literally will outrun everyone. Now, I guarantee you, defenders will start to learn the whole tire because he shakes all these defenders and these defensive ends. I think they're going to do a lot more like shuffling and like a lot of defensive ends will start to learn how to shuffle to stop that Lamar juke. But when you have, it's hard because even if he gets one guy, he can just outrun everyone. So I don't know how. It's going to be hard to stop. I think he's going to be one of the few exceptions, at least for a bit. But I mean, if his throwing goes down, you literally just have to throw the fastest player on him, and then hopefully you're fine.
That's the QB spy with a corner.
The QB fight with a corner.
Like you do.
What you'll do is just like have 3 down linemen, 3 backers, and 6 DBs
Yeah,
or whatever.
Derek's just letting out a game plan.
No, 5 DB. No, you have to run. It'd be a 3.
I mean,
He's
A 3-2-6. It'd be 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 6 corners.
you got to run that Chargers defense
I'm
from like
te-
last year.
I'm telling you, you run 3 down. You run your 2 defensive ends, 1 D tackle, 2 backers, and you run 6 corners. And it's like you're playing quarter,
Hey,
and you're just gonna hope they don't have Big Trust Mark Ingram anymore and just run all over you. But we get in some playoff game. Oh, that no call against the Saints Vikings. That was I don't think it was really that bad as people were saying because I mean they were both pushing off each other. But
Dude, I mean, the Saints have the Saints fans. Poor Saints fans, man. I mean, shout out to them. They're dominant all throughout the season, and then their kryptonite is just the word playoffs. Like
Drew Brees' kryptonite. How many yards did he have?
Dude,
Not many.
Their offense was
correctly.
just shut down. I mean, do you know all the things that they have had to face in the playoffs? Think about this. In the 2010 wild card, you know what happened to them? First Beastquake, and then you had the Minneapolis Miracle, and then you had the most
Marcus Williams.
You had the most terrible non-call in the history of the game. I've never seen anything like that. And then this year, obviously they're gonna vouch for their team.
Listen, they just gotta win the coin toss. That's objective number 1.
you
Drew
know one thing
Brees had 200 passing yards and 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That's not a
Never
Drew
mind.
Brees
That wasn't
game.
bad.
One thing
What do you mean? That's not a Drew
Well, no,
Brees
I
game.
mean,
200 yards,
oh.
1 touchdown, 1 pick.
What I'm saying wasn't bad. I mean, like, it wasn't horrible.
I mean,
Like,
Taysom
I thought it
Hill
was
also
like
had
just a
50
lot
yards
less than that.
on a pass, but that's besides the point.
One thing I really want to talk about. What is your guys' opinion on the overtime rules? Because I don't think they're fair at all. I mean, even watching the Patriots come back against the Falcons, right? Watching them come back against the Falcons in the Super Bowl and win on a walk-off touchdown. Obviously, it was an amazing feeling. I wouldn't have changed it for anything. But I have never thought, whether it's in my favor or not, I have never thought the overtime rules are fair. I mean, I think both teams deserve to get a chance regardless. I don't think it's fair that the possible destiny of the game is determined by a flip of a coin. I mean, that sounds like a joke that a professional league would bring it down to the flip of a coin.
I find it interesting because some teams, as you know, like the Chiefs that we had last season, were a lot more. It was all offense, and they didn't have a good defense. So some teams build that so their team's really good on offense or really good on defense. So say if you had the Chiefs last year when they lose a coin toss, the team has a lot more of a bad chance for them scoring a touchdown. But I mean, like, yeah, I think it's unfair. I think it's really unfair how they have it. It's a lot better, and I think they gotta have like one more full pay. I was listening to Pat McAfee talk about his overtime rules. And
Didn't he say something
With
about
like
beer
a kicker
pong?
contest.
Yeah, well, that was a joke he made about like beer pong, but it was like a 10-minute overtime period, and it just goes until the end of it, and so basically both teams get a couple, like 2 possessions. To
Yeah,
play.
I mean, like, imagine it. I mean, obviously it's a different sport, but imagine if the NBA first person to score wins in overtime. Like,
But that's a whole different game, though. That's a whole different.
Yeah,
game.
first
I'm just-
3-pointer, and you're facing the Warriors versus like the Bucks.
I mean,
the Warriors versus what's the Taylor? The Heat.
the
I'm trying to think. I'm
the
trying
Bucks
to
But
are
he are like
No. I mean
are
like
like
a
top
bad
3 in their
No, I mean
conference.
like a bad 3-point team.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. I said the Bucks because I thought of Giannis trying to shoot 3. Ben Simmons last year before he started.
I don't
shooting
know a
threes.
team that is like
the Raptors shot
genuinely
like
bad at
3 for
three-pointers.
38 the other night from 3-point or something like
Exactly. Give us
It
the
was
Raptors versus the
But the
Warriors.
Raptors like starting lineup, they're all 3-point shooters, so I don't know how that happened.
that. Yeah, I don't either.
Fred Van
I
Vliet,
don't
Marc
either.
Gasol, Pascal.
Basketball. But yeah, I think the overtime rules should change. I don't know if they ever. I mean, I shouldn't say ever, but I don't know if they'll change for a while, just because it's kind of like the traditional NFL style, unless all the coaches really push for it.
I just think it's ridiculous.
I mean, it kind of sucks simply because like the one team really doesn't get a chance, especially if their defense is terrible.
That's what I was saying. Like
But-
the Chiefs
so-
last year, if that
So
happened.
we should just go like Superstar KO.
No, I can't. Zach, I can't agree with you. On
I
that.
love those rules. I think they're great.
Yeah, no, I think they're pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, I
that'd
think
be a
they're
good overtime.
Whoever gets the furthest past the 53 times. I mean, overtime lasts like 5 minutes. Everybody gets their equal chance.
The reason why I said no is because Zach, we were playing last night. For people won't know, but me and Zach were playing last night. I was literally getting so mad at Superstar KO and just everything. I was like yelling last night. I was getting so angry, and I get mad, but I usually don't get this angry. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, the whole tug of war idea is not a bad idea.
I mean, but just imagine the offense and defense running off the field every play. Like they're
Trying to
switching
find
every
Zach
single
yard
play.
line. Yeah.
All right, they had a 3-yard run. Okay, everybody back.
You're right. That would
actually,
look
you know what?
ridiculous.
That would look kind of funny. I kind of
Yeah, it would be funny.
I agree.
But it's like a professional thing.
Yeah,
I
you're
slam
right.
it down. I agree with this idea.
That'd be ridiculous.
The defensive coordinator and offense coordinator try and pick plays quickly because they only have like 30 seconds on the clock.
But
They need to have more time.
Even if to not do it that way, you could have them start at say like the 25, and they have a certain amount of plays to get down the field. And obviously, if they don't get a first down, that ends.
Mhm.
But they could get a certain way down the field. Like however far they get down the field, that's how many like points.
Joe,
like,
you have a
like,
cough button.
Or the other team has to beat that.
Yeah, the other team has a chance to beat that. So that would even change it to like if you won the coin toss, you might want to go second instead of first, so you know how many yards you have to get.
Yeah, and it's just someone's got to change. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's not fair that a playoff game can end because of a sudden death. I mean, there's no other. I mean, in hockey, the final result is a sudden death.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it should be. It shouldn't be one and done. Like one touchdown ends their season when they don't even get a chance to go against it.
I think just the simple, like, not even thinking hard about it would just be to make it so that if you score on the first possession of overtime, it doesn't end the game.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I'm
they
saying.
could keep it as like the first score wins after, like, if the first team turns it over.
Yeah, or
But
just
as long
play
as the game doesn't end after like the first possession of any team.
or just play the whole quarter. Like it's overtime. Not it.
Yeah.
No, but the only
it's-
thing is, like, people would just get so gassed playing
Well,
for so long.
I feel like
Well, that's
a
part of the
second
game,
overtime.
That's part of the. I mean,
wouldn't be
NBA.
possible.
Like again, different sport, but the NBA goes into. Last year there was a game 4 overtime.
Yeah, but that would be impossible for the NFL with the physicality.
The thing is that there would still be ties. There would still be ties if they played.
Well,
not
the
playoffs.
Huh? Well,
That's-
yeah, not playoffs.
Well,
but-
like,
they should
think about
maybe
for the playoff
they
picture.
should maybe implement that whole that whole one overtime period for playoffs. I mean, like the
Yeah,
regular,
that's
like
a-
the
that's
the
a-
regular season, I guess can stay the same because I guess you just get the unfortunate draw of the coin,
Mhm.
maybe. But for overtime, I feel like it's hard to really end a season. I mean, that could happen at like week 17. A team could go into overtime and lose off a coin toss and get kicked out. But literally to lose in the playoffs, it's one or
Especially after
done.
the season that the Saints had. I mean,
Yeah.
to lose and then have it again be a controversial call. It's
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Something's gotta change,
I
that's
don't
it.
think it was that bad of a call, really.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
it wasn't
They-
that bad.
They were both.
I mean, there was people on
pushing
the
off
fans.
each
There was
other.
people on the fans. Like,
They were saying
going
like
it was
like
a
he shoved him to the
terrible-
floor.
He literally just had his arm out for separation, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I
I mean,
mean,
that was just
yeah.
at that point.
Personally, I think if it went either way, I wouldn't really complain.
Yeah.
But if you were a Saints fan,
I'd
then
say
if
we're
there's
also
any
not fans of
contact,
those
you'd be mad.
teams.
To be
So-
honest, if it was called a push off, they deserve it. The Saints fans deserve it. But I would have been kind of shocked. But you guys want to take like a 30-second break?
Sure, and then we can talk about some more NFL stuff. Because we still have to talk about this week of playoffs. So
No, you're right. But yeah, we'll take a quick break so we can gather our thoughts. Derek
Drink some
doesn't
water.
stump for
Yeah,
30 seconds again.
I'm really gonna have CTE mid podcast.
But all right. We will be right back.
That'd be a good song.
Hey man, we can't get copyrighted here.
Okay.
Check. DJ on the mic. CTE on the mic. Hey, so we got this week of NFL playoffs on Saturday and Sunday. I don't really like those Saturday games.
I do. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
I
it
think-
makes it like you get to watch all the games, but think about it, the team that plays on Saturday technically gets more rest.
Dude, I think it should.
Oh,
day.
it's unfair.
Unfair. One day.
It's Conor McGregor.
My opinion, it should be Super Bowl Saturday. I mean, Super Bowl Sunday to me. I mean, everybody is exhausted the next day. It either make it Saturday or make it a national holiday.
I'm saying make it a national
Yeah,
holiday on
it's-
Monday.
Because everybody watches it. People are either watching it for the commercials. People are either
I
watching
don't watch it. I just play video
What a
games instead.
fucking
Well, you have no reason to watch it ever.
Because the Giants are never in it.
Yeah.
Except for the 2 times they beat our
Hey.
team.
60-0, what's up?
What?
You guys
18.
are
Oh, so I thought you
16
said
and up.
60. I was like, what in the world are you
16-0,
going on about?
what's up? All right, so this week we got. I mean, I do like how it's a. I'm gonna have to sneeze in an NFC game and an AFC game on Saturday. That's kind of cool.
Who's playing?
So, I feel the sneeze coming on. So it's the Vikings versus the 49ers. The 49ers have a 7-point betting favorite. That's
Okay.
crazy to think about.
I mean, don't
that Vikings team, it's a good team, but like
I think
Xavier Rhodes is terrible now.
the
I don't know
roads
where
are
that
so
happened.
open. It's literally a highway. Xavier Rhodes is a highway now.
Kirk Cousins. I mean, he could
Prime time Kirk
He
Cousins.
could make a name for
I
himself.
feel like he's actually like somewhat underrated just because people hate on him
The
so
contract,
much that I believe he's a
how
little
big his
underrated.
contract was.
And
We're talking
yeah,
about
that's
top
a deal.
tier
people
quarterbacks.
focus
But people act like he's
so
terrible.
heavy on that Monday Night Football stat. Who
It's just
cares
Monday
what
Night
day of the
Football.
week it is? I mean,
Like-
who gives a shit? Like, people are like, Kirk Cousins is officially 0-12 on Monday night. Who
Which means he's a
cares?
terrible quarterback.
He's playing on Saturday, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
exactly.
I was gonna say, if he played on Monday, I'd be like, put the bets in.
If
for
it-
40
if he was playing on
49ers by
Monday, that
50,
would- that would-
49ers by 50.
That would be the only thing that every sports station was talking about.
But I think it's I just don't think that team's good enough. But we can get two different types of Kirk Cousins. We can get a close game Kirk Cousins or 3 interception Kirk Cousins.
I mean, you in that game, you have two quarterbacks who are get unexplained hate. I mean, people all season long have been saying Jimmy Garoppolo's got to prove to me that he's an actual quarterback, that he's a franchise
I
quarterback.
don't think he's that great.
He's
of a
not. He's
quarterback.
not a great quarterback, but he's a
But
guy.
he's good.
He could
good
be,
He's definitely good.
He could be the 49ers franchise quarterback for sure. You don't think so?
It's debate. Like he's. It's.
How old is he?
I honestly, I'll look it up real quick. But
Yeah,
keep
MJ
going
look-
there.
But like, I don't think he's a bad. I just don't know if he can be a franchise. They can make him his franchise. I just don't think he's one of those top quarterbacks. Like, and I think when I think of franchise quarterbacks, I think of top 10 guys, and I don't think he's a top 10 guy. Jimmy
Well,
Garoppolo.
I mean, not
he's
necessarily.
definitely
I
not
mean,
top 10.
I mean, Andy
a-
Dalton has been the Bengals franchise quarterback.
Yeah, but
It's-
that was something. I
he's
still
20
think. I
But how
still,
have they been doing with
He's
him
tw-
as their franchise quarterback?
he's 28.
And I still.
So-
I literally still think.
Oh, wait,
Andy
Jimmy G's
Dalton,
28.
Yeah.
he came out probably his senior year then.
Oh, jeez.
But I
Well, think
really-
about it. He was he was behind Brady for like 3 years.
That's what I'm saying.
So
He probably
was-
came out. He probably came out. Oh, junior season then. So he was like 23
Yeah.
when he came out. 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been on the 49ers for
Because
2 years
I think
now.
at some point there was at one point where the Patriots were 100% thinking he's our next guy, but
And then we just traded him.
yeah, oh, I was so upset.
And Jacoby Biscuit,
And
but that-
I know.
but that man,
dude.
I wish we still had Jacoby Brissett. I love that man.
to think that we had them both. Anyway, sorry.
the same time.
Continue what you were saying.
at the same time, that's
Best 3 quarterbacks.
I know.
on
Yeah,
the
I
team
just
ever.
don't. I just don't think he's that. We'll have to see next year. He improved a lot from last year, to be honest. But I just don't know if he's a franchise guy. It's very possible to keep him because they have such a long contract with him anyways. It's very possible he'll be their franchise guy.
Yeah.
But when I look at franchise guy, like I said, I look at top 10 quarterbacks,
I mean,
and I'm like, those are your franchise guys.
He knows how to win with those guys, man. I mean, think about it. He came in for what was it, 7 games last year or the year before, and he 7-0. And then this year he kept them undefeated well past halfway through the season, and now they had a first round bye.
Just
I mean,
good game manager, I guess.
I mean, I'm not saying obviously they have other feats on the team that are they have
Their running back depth.
They're
yeah,
Kyle,
they
Kyle
have good.
Shanahan's offensive
I mean,
mind. Is
Deebo
crazy.
Samuel had a great year for a rookie, and I think it's so unfair how people count him out. Just as like I think it's unfair the amount of hate that Kirk Cousins get. I just think it's interesting that these two are facing up because it's gonna be the freaking hate train because people are always talking about how they don't have confidence in those two, and I'm really interested to see who's gonna be able to be the better guy that sucks.
I think you take that bet though by 7 points for the 49ers. I think it'll be a lot further of the game.
I give it to the 49ers.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a lot more than 7. That's what I'm saying. I think
I don't
maybe
know
a
about
10
all
or
that.
14 score game.
Because
That defense, that Vikings defense is questionable.
Is it though? They just shut down one of the best offenses in the league, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it does like even.
Well, they have a really good D line and really good linebackers.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's just hard. And then that 49ers defense is so much better than that Vikings offense. So much. That defense may score points, multiple.
I don't.
Lots of.
What a hot take
Wait.
from Cowboy DeVeau.
Wait, but why are you hating so much on the Vikings offense? They have Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, who's
Adam
a top
Thielen might be hurt,
3
but-
running back.
Yeah, wait, yeah. Why are you?
Yeah, they have
I just don't
Kyle
think the
Rudolph.
Vikings are a good team.
Like, you can't really count anyone out, especially in the playoffs.
I'll
Like,
say they have
look
a
at
very
your
good
team, bro.
offense,
Your
actually.
Giants came in as a wild card and won the Super Bowl twice. Over once an undefeated team.
I'm gonna go on to the next game now.
No.
I just don't think that team's that great. I mean, they're a playoff. I never said they weren't a playoff team. I just don't think they're a top team. You gotta think going in after this week, it's gonna be the top.
Well, the Titans weren't
14.
a top team.
I still thought they were better than the Patriots, though. As I said last week when I said Derrick Henry was going.
Well, I
Derek
don't
made
think
a
they're
good
better
guess,
than the
and now he's
Patriots.
a god.
I literally said all last podcast that Derrick Henry was going to run all over them.
We know.
What
I
happened?
agreed with that because we don't have the best run defense. We have really good pass defense, but run defense not so much.
And I saw 2 years ago. I saw Derrick Henry versus the Giants. I went up to MetLife with my dad for my first Giants game ever, and we got shut out 17-0. And that's the game where Derrick Henry had like a 90-something yard run on the Giants, and I just knew that. And it's Derrick Henry's a maniac.
Honestly, but he's like 26. Like he started
Young.
off his career as just average for so long, and then just broke out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, well keep talking. All right, next game, Ravens versus Titans. Yeah.
Ravens versus Titans. Titans are getting destroyed.
9.5 points favorite.
It
for
should
the-
be
for the
25.
Ravens. I mean, I want to see how many rushing yards are in this game.
Yeah, but like also, because the Ravens don't have a very good rush defense, or, like at all.
Big trust. But what actually will be interesting is that Mark Ingram's been hurt for quite a few weeks now, and his ankle or whatever. It's in his leg. I don't really know. It's one of the muscles. There's so many muscles in your leg. I can't tell you.
Your ankle's not a muscle.
It's not a muscle. So many body parts.
There's so many areas of person inside your leg, and but he's been out for like 2.5 weeks. I mean, they didn't play last week, so that helps out. But they have him like no contact right now, so I don't even know if he'll be in. And the big part of running that option offense is having a good fullback, and they kind of run that weird like RG3 big truss back there. So I mean, you get like Mark Ingram that's almost like a fullback ish for them, but you really need to run a weird option offense. It really goes through a good fullback, and with Mark Ingram being hurt, that actually they're showing it right now.
Yeah. Practiced on
Right there.
limited basis.
Premium on limited basis Thursday. He's been out for almost 3 weeks now, and he's still almost barely practicing. There's something calf. I was wrong. It wasn't ankle. It was calf. It says up there.
Are
Still
you reading
leg.
it backwards off the window?
No, I read it beforehand. I mean, I can see it off the window, but I can't read it. All I can see is like, I can see the Titans and Ravens sign, and that's really about it on that window.
I don't know.
But I don't know. That it's gonna be a good game. I think. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna actually win by 25.
No, I don't know. If the Titans can keep it close, they obviously have a chance. But like, I don't know if it's gonna be as far as game as people are thinking. Like, really.
Yeah.
Well, we want to get into.
We have 2 more games real quickly. Texans, Chiefs.
Mhm.
Chiefs by 9.5 points. Also,
Mhm.
I think these betting odds are kind of crazy this week about how bad these teams are getting beat. Like the only close game is the Seahawks and Packers out. That's supposed to be a snowstorm.
I mean,
Uh,
if you watched the Bills versus Texans games, it was like a dumpster fire at the end of it. So I don't know how much I can put my faith in the Texans.
and especially the Chiefs that have a better defense this year. Pat Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He may bring out
Honestly,
some catch
people
up on
like-
the sidelines.
Like people expect him to live up to his last season, and it's like you can't drop 50 touchdowns every season.
Yeah.
So it's like he's down
What
from
if?
last year, but it's not like he's like
He's not like
declined
he's
or
like
anything.
No,
declined
you're right.
that much.
You're right. And I
Still
think
top quarterback.
I could be 100% wrong, but I think the Chiefs are going to manhandle him. The only I mean, if they find a way to shut down Derrick Henry, which now they have a whole
No,
game
the Chiefs are
of
facing
playoff
the
Henry.
Chiefs are facing the Texans.
Chiefs Texans not.
It's Titans.
I was too focused on the cameras.
Who has CTE, me or MJ?
Oh.
So, I still have this hat on. I need to take this hat off. It doesn't fit on my head. It's too small.
I can't help that I have a smaller head than you.
My head is massive. I can't deny
Did you
it.
ask Zach to bring you a cowboy hat?
Yeah, I don't have a cowboy hat. I'm gonna get one eventually. I want a black one, but Zach's like, yeah, I have a red, white, and blue cowboy
It matches
hat.
my boots, bro. Chill out.
Yeah, he has some weird ass America boots. But yeah, so that Chiefs team, they made us go put up a lot of points on these Texans. And Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, you never know. You're never out of the game with Deshaun Watson as your quarterback.
His college coach
You're-
called him
you're-
the Michael Jordan of football.
I mean, that's a little that's might be a little much.
His football coach.
Yeah, well, his football coach is an idiot because he's been in the league for a very short amount of
The
time.
Michael Jordan of football. But yeah, you will just have to see if the semi-blind Deshaun Watson will be able to.
Semi-blind.
He's the one that almost lost his eye until he got his Popeye's chicken sandwich or whatever.
What?
It was a few weeks, or it wasn't a few weeks ago. It was a while ago. He was talking about how he almost lost eye vision during the season.
But what does that have
Yeah,
to do
when
with
he
the
got-
Popeyes
what-
chicken sandwich?
what is the
Well, it was
Popeyes?
I know what I say so many things on this podcast.
No. We're not.
No,
We're not.
You can't act like you just
we
didn't
don't
say
have
that.
we don't have enough time. I was gonna go look for it online, but you don't know how long. I'm gonna look for it.
No, we don't have time. You just have
last
CTE.
Last
That's-
game is Seahawks versus Packers. Supposed to get a snowstorm.
I forgot about that game. That game
It's supposed
exists.
to be a bunch of snow.
Oh, that's a
on the field.
rematch too.
In
That's
with-
a rematch from
in
when the.
on Lambeau in Lambeau.
Oh man, that's a rematch. Remember they won with they took the lead with the trick play to get into the Super Bowl against the against
Steelers.
what?
Who are we talking about?
Oh,
Seahawks. I thought we were talking about Packers.
All right. Just go back real quickly. November 4th, 2019. Deshaun Watson claims Popeye's chicken sandwich healed his eye injury. Don't talk to me. I literally remember this because it was like all over a bunch of the Instagram pages. I was talking
All
about
right,
Popeye's chicken sandwich.
apologies.
Thank you. I don't get that enough around here. But like I said, Russell Wilson's going back up to Wisconsin where he played college football. So that's going to be kind of fun. And like they're playing at Lambeau. It's supposed to be a bunch of snow from what everyone's saying right now. It looks like it's
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
That'll be a good
night.
game. That'll be a really good game.
6:40 p.m.
Yeah.
Cold game in Lambeau, snow. What they say, most people say about how people like to run the football in the snow. Whatever team has better running. If Gavin was here, he'd be all over Marshawn right now. He'd be like, Marshawn's gonna have 500 rushing yards this game.
But he'll have like
I mean, he's
44.
had a
TD.
touchdown. He's had a touchdown, and he'll have a solid.
I
50.
think
decent
they're
game.
gonna start feeding him more and more. I think now that he's actually in semi NFL shape and not handing out shots of tequila 2 weeks before the playoffs.
Yeah, he's shown that he can still legitimately perform in the NFL. I mean, he's a power running back.
So he's still a big body.
He's a power running back. 70 yards and a touchdown a game is not bad at all
Yeah,
for.
no.
Especially for power.
Yeah, but we want to get into
Our
talking
guest
to
that
our
we have
guest right here.
The guest that we're gonna have on probably more often because he actually likes football, so we can talk about football. He doesn't get too irritated. This is the 20. I mean, ECC's isn't even that big of a deal. No, I'm kidding. That's a huge deal. ECC champion at 160 pounds. I messed up earlier and said 170. Zack Navarrete. What an interesting. This guy is an interesting guy. The guy who got me to start playing sports in high school, actually. I played, as we talked about last week, with Coach BONAGURA, undefeated. I used to play Parks and Rec basketball. I remember this is such a vivid memory. I remember eighth grade, Zach was like, "Yeah, we're gonna play football next year." And we went out on our elementary school on the field, and he was trying to teach me how like offensive line and defensive line worked. And he gave me a bloody nose and blew me up. I was playing offensive line. I was never good at offensive line. So we're playing. We don't have pads or anything on. We're just outside, and we're like hiking. I go to like play. I'm playing like offensive tackle. I went to go block him. And like Zach played end or whatever at that time, and he came in just boom and ran me over and gave me a bloody nose. It was
I thought
hilarious.
you put your hands out and you just didn't.
I never understood but no, Zach got me into sports. We played football together. We wrestled together. We did track together.
Oh,
Me and Zach literally did all 3 sports together. And I remember during track, I would just not go practice. I'd just go over to pole vault.
Fucking pole vault.
I would literally just sit there and pole vault, and people and the throwing coach would get so mad at me because I wouldn't train. I mean,
and then senior year, he just dropped.
And then the senior year, I just didn't care about
it
track.
was good.
I literally got my varsity jacket to say track and field to not do track and field that last season. But
it's okay. You weren't good anyways.
it's crazy to think my best year was like
sophomore, junior year.
sophomore year for discus. Or no, it was. Wait, I forget it was sophomore, junior. I almost made states for discus.
Yeah.
One year, I was like 15
Dude, I was literally
feet off.
by an inch for javelin. Oh fuck. Sorry.
I
was so bad.
And Zach still gets bad memories of this 1 inch.
Yeah,
I remember this. It was the senior year. I was trying to learn how. I've always joked around about doing javelin because that's the only throwing thing he did.
Yeah. No.
And I'd always joke around about him. And this year I actually tried to learn how javelin, and it is embarrassing how bad I was. Literally, the girls were out throwing me. Now their javelin's shorter and lighter and all that stuff, but they're literally, or I think it's the same. Maybe a tad bit shorter, but it's a lot light. It's a lot lighter. I was literally getting out thrown by these girls. And I just felt so bad because I was like guy out in tank tops, muscular, had the triceps. I didn't have biceps at that point. The triceps.
I remember that's all you used to flex. You would never. You would.
Oh yeah.
Every time we would hang out, he would.
My traps and triceps. Because my traps and triceps were so irregular. They're still not human. My traps are still not human. But it makes no sense. I was really trying to think of, we're talking about some funny wrestling stories, but I really don't have, I can't think of any good ones with me and Zach.
Adam Thielen's questionable.
Oh, he's questionable now?
Yeah, I said that.
No.
I said that when you were
I
saying.
didn't know
Well,
that.
I thought you said he was maybe not playing, but yeah, he's still questionable for
Yeah.
Saturday. And it's now Friday, so it's very likely. Expected to play now.
Mark Ingram's expected.
Now, we'll see what happens when he gets hit the first time or two and see how he feels. So you have really interesting wrestling stories.
I mean, when we went to state opens, your YMCA choice playlist is a pretty good
All right,
choice.
so I'll have to explain this to everyone. When I have a very diverse music that I listen to.
I have a very diverse.
We already know I have CT. It's fine. So I listen to a lot of different types of music, and we're up in New Haven for state opens. The funnier thing about state opens is I won S's, so I was one of the top guys in state champion wrestling. State opens.
Sorry, he had an easy bracket. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah,
he won in like 10 seconds in the finals. So
It was a minute and a half. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Sorry.
But it's not an easy bracket.
It was the easiest frig bracket.
Whatever. I don't think it was that easy.
You
But
wouldn't, 'cause you're buns.
but no, so we're up there, and none of these guys even. I remember going to weigh-ins, and all these guys are big, tall guys. They're like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "I'm the 3rd seed," and they're like, "Oh shit!" All these like big. I come in joking around. All these guys are serious, and all these big, tough heavyweights, and I'm like joking around. I come in, they're like, "Who is this guy?" I'm like, "I'm the S champion." They're like, "Oh shit!" So that was funny, but
couldn't even make it past the blood round.
Zach's, you guys may see a live murder on. But so we're I'm so mad. Me and Zach literally talk so much trash to each other because we just don't care because it doesn't really affect us and we find it more funny if anything. But so we're doing our warm up and we're jogging around the mats and I literally have blasting in my ear YMCA and I'm running around the mat doing this and everyone's looking. It's hilarious. There's hundreds of people, the best wrestlers around, and I'm running around doing the YMCA.
Dude, you look like a
state champion.
Wait, and then you
state
won, or
champion
this was before?
Well, this was before.
This was state opens.
So I lost to the guy who won state opens. And then I lost to the guy.
Mark Ryan.
Yes. So that first round I lost to the guy with 2 seconds remaining. The guy got 2 points on me, but he won the whole state opens.
Yeah.
And then next round I faced Rourke. I won near the end of that. And then I faced a New London heavyweight, beat him in the end of the 3rd period. And then I faced the 1 seed. So for some reason, literally, but like in the first round or two, literally the 1 through 4 seed, the top 4 guys are supposed to be top 4 guys, all lost in heavyweight. It's so weird.
Yeah, Derek, I hope you know in that match that you lost right at the end, I was screaming at you
Which
to
one, the
just
final
push him
one?
away. No, I don't know.
Oh,
The one
you mean
to get out of
The first round, the guy who I
knocked
lost to. The guy who won state opens as heavyweight was the 19th seed.
Dude, but I was literally screaming at you to just push him away. You had like 5 seconds. They would not have called you for stalling.
Yeah, he knows. The reason why I did. So I don't even think there's footage anywhere. Actually, there probably is on like Flow Wrestling maybe.
Somewhere.
But I don't have the footage anymore. I thought I was gonna get called for stalling if I pushed him away or whatever, because he was like, this guy was strong. This guy was probably about 6'2", 6'3". He was just, and he was.
Derek
like
thinks
muscular.
6'2" is a living giant.
Yeah, well, when you are short like me, I face I box a lot of guys that are taller than me, so it's not that bad anymore. But like, I think when I was like wrestling, I think I'm like 5'11", and this guy's like 6'2". He's maybe 220, 230. So he's not fat. Like he's like pretty. Zach can. This guy was like had muscle on him. I guess he was just a natural athlete, but he just wasn't that good of a wrestler. And I thought I was gonna get called. So he was like pushing me around there, and I thought they were gonna call me for stalling. And so I was staying in close and trying to lock up, and then the guy got the 2 points on me last second.
Yeah, I was so mad at you. I was so mad, dude. I was sitting in the I literally walked all the way around. Mind you, this is a huge gym. It's like a whole.
This is
literally
crazy. It's literally a college gym, right? And they have like a track. It's like a track
The
and
whole
field
track,
gym.
like a
I know
big-
exactly.
So it's
I know what you're talking about.
ginormous because
Yeah.
it has the whole track in there. It's huge.
Dude, literally, I walked all the way around to watch his match. I was like, dude, he's got this. There's like 5 seconds left. I was like, Derek, just push him away. And this man just was like, no, I'm going to tie up with him. Like,
There was so many. How many matches were there? It was like 16.
what?
Was it
yeah,
16
something crazy
mats?
like that, yeah.
16, 20 matches. There were a
Wow.
lot of mats there.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Like they'd be like next or in the hole, mat 18, and you have to like run across the gym to
dude,
try and
literally,
get.
you're at like mat 1, and like they're like, oh yeah, by the way,
Your thing's like a football field and a half away. You're like, oh, that's fun. I gotta get there in 3 minutes.
Well, we are at a minute 5.
You mean an hour?
a minute
five?
five.
Yeah, at minute 5. We're at an hour and 5.
So you mean like an hour and 5 minutes, or just over an hour?
Huh?
Just over an hour.
It's,
Hour.
it's at an hour and 4 minutes.
Well, we got a few extra minutes if you got any other stories. I'm trying to think of any funny stories.
I mean, there's always the freaking what was it? Oh crap, I just lost that. Don't look at me.
This was.
all right. So
Wait, I'm trying to. Like I said, how was ECCs winning ECCs? I feel like that's kind of important to talk about.
Oh, I mean,
Because that's a big. I mean, winning S's is a big thing, and like people will know that. People will be a lot more proud of like if people
Yeah.
like talk about it later on in life. People will be like, "Oh, you won states there." That's a lot more important. But ECCs has always been a top thing,
yeah,
especially in Connecticut.
yeah,
ECCs is like
'cause
the
we have-
best thing
Yeah,
around.
we're some of the best wrestlers. Like ECC is some of the best wrestlers around. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, you can't deny that. But I mean, it was my weight class. My semifinals match was terrible. I was dog tired because, mind you, I like for some reason I think I have like I have
Zach gets like sick at the
I
end
get
of the
sick
season
every
year.
every time during wrestling, like the end of wrestling season, and it sucked. Like I went into overtime with this guy. Mind you, he was a lot stronger than me, like without a doubt. But all he would do was lock up. And I finally he shot on me in overtime, and I did a lazy sprawl, but he was more tired than I was, so I just cross-faced him and got behind, got my 2, dude. And like the ref didn't call the match right away, and I was like, "Excuse me, the match is over." Like,
How was the point of you beat that guy pretty convincingly in the finals? How did that feel?
I felt really good.
Like, did
'cause-
you have a really good feel? Like how when you were winning? Like, did you have during any point during that match? Did you feel something coming out? Like you felt like you're gonna win this, or was it all afterwards?
I felt really dominant during that match. Like I came out strong, and I kept coming at him, and then at the end I started to pull off a little bit, and he came back a little bit. But I like kept holding him off, and then at the end he tried to throw me, which doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. I like talking with my finals match. It's so I didn't feel that at all. Like, cause I mean, mine was also different because it wasn't that long of a match. It was during the first period. But even when I got that throw off and I was pinning him, I didn't realize till after how big it was. Like you can see my face in the video. I get up and And I get real excited because it's afterwards. I don't even realize. And then way after is when I finally started realizing what kind of happened, because it was like I went over there, I helped him up, and I went over a coach, and I was all happy and stuff. But it didn't happen until afterwards when I started realizing what I did.
Well, like for me at least, I kind of like black out when I wrestle. Like I don't think about.
That's a good thing to say.
But no. I don't mean it like that. I mean like I don't. After my matches, I don't remember anything that happened during the match. Like. Until I watch it. No, I'm not, it's hard to explain.
Anyone else really scared right now?
It's hard to explain.
That sounds like maybe.
That sounds like CT.
No, it's like hard to explain because like I just get into this zone where I'm just like my body is just like going and like I'm just like
Street
I'm just
murder
wrestling.
mode.
Well, it's like essentially, but it's like
And my nose gets bloody and my eyes get dilated.
I start getting lightheaded.
it's like muscle memory, I guess. It's just I go through the motions and I like try hard to win, but.
So we talk about some fighting stuff on this podcast. Do you ever plan on trying to go into any fighting stuff at all? Could we talk about a little bit?
I've thought about it, but then I remember that for what I want to go to school for and what I want to do with my life, I kind of need my head. So I mean, I wanted to do kickboxing just to compete and stuff, but I don't know that I would necessarily.
Yes, I understand. I see the time, MJ. I understand.
Hey, I'm just trying to let you know, man. I don't want to get kicked out of here
I
in the
know-
middle of Zach's
I know
story.
we literally can't. I know we can't pay our rent. I say about
Stop.
every week. It's, but I find it really interesting because me and Zach, what we were just talking about, we don't really talk about it. We talk so often, but we don't talk about some of this stuff. And that's why, like, I do all the training stuff. And I know Zach, even though he's a smaller guy than me, even though he's gotten kind of big recently, but he's a really good wrestler, and so that's why I've always run with that. And it'll be interesting if Zach goes into some type of fighting field or tries to do something, maybe even jiu-jitsu or whatever. Because Zach,
We'll definitely have Zach back on.
Zach's gonna be back
there's a
on.
lot more things that we could have talked about today. If we didn't have to get out of here in a little bit, we probably could have kept
If we-
going
if
for
we
a
don't get
while.
beat
I mean,
up.
we would just get it into the stories aspect of it. So we'll definitely have Zach back on and talk more about
Zach,
stories.
Coach
and,
BONAGURA are gonna be two regulars. The two regular substitutes will either be Zach or Coach BONAGURA, if I take a guess.
all right, well, we're at about an hour 10, so I
like it.
guess we'll wrap up episode 6 here. Zach, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
We'll definitely have you back on, and that's gonna be the end of episode 6. I'm MJ.
Derek.
Joseph.
Zach.
All right, and thank you guys.
See you guys.